Welcome to Brooke Does Yoga. My name is Brooke. Let's do some yoga together. Today we have a flow sequence that's going to generate some heat and some strength, particularly in the low body. This is a great flow if you have any hand and wrist pain, because it is all going to be hands-free. So if you're someone who experiences that type of pain in a traditional vinyasa class, this is a great sequence for you. I will also have some videos coming out about ways to strengthen the hands and wrists as well as stretch them, and a modified vinyasa flow to accommodate any hand and wrist pain. This is also a great sequence to practice some of the foundational yoga poses: crescent, warrior one, and warrior two. You may want a yoga block today. If you don't have a block at home, no problem at all. You can use a thick book. If you have your Harry Potter collection around, that's a great one. You can also use canned goods or a shoebox or a cereal box, whatever you have around the house, your coffee table. No big deal. So grab whatever you're using as a yoga block today if you want it, and let's get started. We'll start standing at the top of your mat. Take your block or whatever you're using as a block there as well. You're going to stay at the top of your mat. I'm going to move to face you just for this first part here. And start to feel your feet on your mat, on your floor. Start to feel what kind of stance feels good today. We might have the feet hip width apart. We might bring the big toes together, a little space between the heels. Try a bunch of different things and just see where you want to stay today. And then the hands can rest down by the sides, or we might bring them together at the heart. Maybe stack over the heart. Maybe one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. And the eyes might start to flutter closed. I'm just starting to feel into the body. Notice what you're feeling without having to change anything or assign some kind of moral judgment, good or bad. I like that, I don't like that. Try to step apart and become an observer. I'm just witnessing what's present here and now. Letting it just be. And then start to bring that attention to your breath, starting to notice the way that you're breathing today. Fast or slow. Notice where you feel the breath the most and where you feel it the least. Again, not needing to change anything, just noticing. And take a few more slow, deep breaths here. Good. And then let your eyes gently flutter open if they closed. And then decide if you want to keep your feet where they are. Maybe you want to change them now. Move it up a little bit. And then plant the feet again. And this time we're coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Plant your feet down nice and strong and start to feel where the weight is in the feet. I like to kind of rock back and forth and then side to side a little bit. Just starting to notice where the weight habitually falls in the feet. And then see if you can find that place where the weight rests equally over the center of your arches. Even weight from front to back, side to side, right to left. Good. And then activate your quadriceps. Pull your kneecaps up building some strength there. Put a little softness behind the knees, so we're not locking the knees out. And then firm the low belly by imagining you can pull your front 2 hip points towards each other. That'll activate your transverse abdominis. Good. And then the lower ribs are going to soften in and down. The heart is just going to lift a tiny bit up towards the sky. Activate your fingertips. Spread the fingers apart really wide. And from deep inside your shoulder joint, spin your palms to face forward. You'll probably feel the front and back of your chest start to broaden and expand. And then reach the fingers towards the floor a little bit. Keep everything else. Elongate the neck towards the sky, and then let your head float off of your neck like a little balloon. Take a deep breath here. And a full breath out. On your next inhale, reach your hands up high, reaching all the way through your fingertips, all the way up towards the ceiling, and then exhale. Take your fingers wide and down. Good. We're going to keep flowing like that. Inhale, bringing the fingertips up. And exhale, bringing the fingertips down. Starting to really embrace that concept of vinyasa. One movement, one breath, allowing the movement and the breath to start to match. So however fast or slow your breath or your movement is today, see if you can even them out so that your inhale is your whole circle up and your exhale is your whole circle down. And then we might even add the neck in here, letting the gaze follow the fingertips as they sweep up, sweep back down, little gentle work for the neck. One more like this. Good. This time, inhale, sweep the hands up high. On your exhale, send your hips to the left and your fingertips over to the right. Reach really strongly through your left fingertips. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale over to the other side. Inhaling for center. Exhale. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Take one more on each side. We'll meet back at center. And then once more, side bend to the right. Stay exactly as you are, or choose to take your right fingertips around your left wrist. Give it a little tug just to make that side body a little bit longer. And then firm your belly, spiral your heart a little bit closer to the ceiling. Inhale, center, exhale, second side. Maybe that little wrist grip. Maybe we start to spin the heart a little bit higher. Exhale, center, and bring the arms all the way down. Let the palms come together at heart center. Beautiful. All right. Now that we got into the side body, we're going to start to get into the spine. So walk the feet apart if they were together, just about hip width apart. And bend the knees, sink your hips down and back like a chair pose. We'll bring the palms of the hands to rest on top of the thighs. And then imagine you could pull the skin of your thighs back. Reach your heart forward, arch your spine, bringing your belly closer to your thighs. Roll your shoulders down the back, and then lift your gaze, lift the crown of the head. On your exhale, push down into your thighs, round your spine, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin toward your chest. Inhale, come back, arch forward. Exhale, round the spine. So it's a standing version of our cat-cow. Flow with your breath. You might be faster or slower than me. That's okay. Really try to articulate every single vertebra in your spine. Good. And then come to a neutral spine. Straighten the legs, stand up. Probably start to feel those thighs a little bit already. Good. Make sure the feet are hip width. Inhale, reach the hands up. And then come up onto your tippy toes, the very balls of your feet. Reach up towards the sky, a little balance challenge. Hug up and in through your core. Exhale, drop your heels down. Take your hips down and back, chair pose. So in our chair pose, we're going to firm our belly button towards our spine. Sink the hips down and back so the weight is sinking back into our heels. We're going to keep the big toe mound sealed down. And then inhale, rise up. Tippy toes, little balance. Exhale, heels drop. And bring the hands to the heart. Good. Inhale all the way up. Balance challenge. Exhale, heels come down, hips come down, hands come down. Inhale up. Tippy toes. Exhale, heels, hips, hands. Inhale. Few more. Good. Inhale, come back to center. All right. I'm going to move to the top of my mat now. We're going to come into that chair pose again. So feet are hip width apart. Bend the knees deeply. Sink the hips down and back. If we find that our knees start to knock together here, step the feet together as well. Let the feet and the knees support each other. Strong lift through the belly. Take the hands down to the thighs. Give a little lift of the heart here. We'll feel the core start to engage. The heart lifts up. We might stay right here. We might start to lift the arms forward and up. Chair pose. Utkatasana. On your exhale, sweep your arms behind you. Open your collarbones forward, palms face down. Lay your belly down on your thighs, and then maybe start to lift the heels off of the mat. Drinking bird, another balance challenge. We might bring the hands down to our block or canned goods or book, whatever we've got. On your exhale, drop your heels. Swing your arms back forward. Chair pose. Exhale, drinking bird. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, drinking bird. Inhale. Good. Take a couple more. Follow your own breath. If you get lost, you can always watch me. Back to chair pose. Straighten the legs, stand up, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Walk your feet as wide as your mat. Turn your toes out and your heels in. We can leave the block where it is if we want to, if you're using it today. On your inhale, reach up high. Exhale, sink your hips down and back like chair pose, but this time wide. On your exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And then continue to drop the hips down, Malasana squat. That might not be, this deep. We might be up here. That's okay. Your squat. On your exhale, turn your toes forward, straighten your legs, forward fold. On your inhale, lift up halfway, bring your hands to your shins, reach your heart forward and your tailbone back. Exhale, round. Inhale all the way up, reach for the sky. Again, like that. Turn your toes out, chair pose. Hands to heart, Malasana. Inhale, forward fold. Toes turn in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, all the way up, hands to sky. One more. Turn the toes out, chair pose. Hands to heart, malasana. Inhale, forward fold, parallel the feet. Halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, all the way up. Good. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Walk the feet hip width. Chair pose. Sink your hips down and back. Reach the hands high. We can also just keep the hands at the heart. Make your choice with the arms. Keep your left knee bent. Start to lift your right toes off of the mat. Again, little balance challenge. Right toes come down, right heel comes down. If we want less work in the shoulders, we bring the hands to the heart. Switch sides, lift your left toes. Take the left foot back down. Right toes. Right foot comes down. Left toes. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale right. Inhale left. Good. Left foot comes down. One breath in chair. Inhale back all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale right back up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale in your chair. Exhale, step your right foot all the way back to the back of your mat. A really big step. You're going to land in a high lunge crescent pose. Reach the hands up high. Keep your front knee bent. Exhale and step your back foot forward. Chair pose. Good. Inhale. Exhale, step your right foot again. Back into your warrior one stance. It's a little bit shorter. Back toes turn forward. Warrior one. Front knee stays bent. Chair pose. Once more, right foot. All the way back. Big stance. Cartwheel your arms wide. Warrior two. Inhale, chair pose. Straighten your legs, stand up. Good. Inhale, hands up high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, round your spine, maybe bend your knees. Let your head and neck relax. Hands can come to your block. Good. Inhale around all the way up. Reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Second side. Bend your knees. Sink your hips down and back. Chair pose. Choose your arm option. Firm your belly. Shift your weight into your right foot. Lift your left foot and step it in a big step all the way back. And hands can come to our block here to help. Crescent pose. Woo. Good balance challenge here. Keep your front knee nice and bent. Chair pose. Good. Left foot again. Warrior one. Chair pose. Warrior two this time. Big step. Cartwheel the arms. Inhale, chair pose. Stand up. Reach high. Forward fold. Maybe bend the knees. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, round. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. We feeling some energy flowing, some heat building, probably especially in those thighs. We're going to take one more round of each side. I'm not going to narrate. Follow your breath. If you get lost, just make it up or watch me. It's just yoga. Have some fun. Feel your body. Let's go. We'll meet back in Tadasana at the top of your mat. Take a few deep breaths. Good. Bring your hands together at heart center. Take your feet wide, as wide as your mat. Turn your toes out slightly. And then bend your knees. Sink all the way down from Malasana squat. If the elbows and the knees meet together, press your elbows into your inner leg lines and squeeze your inner leg lines back towards your elbows. Good. And then gently take your hands behind you and just bring your bum down for a seat. We are going to take our feet out in front of us. Soles of the feet to the floor, knees right up towards the sky. And then we'll take our hands behind us, and the fingertips might point out to the sides. They might start to turn all the way back to point towards your seat. If this is not okay on the wrists, you can try making fists. That gives us a little bit more strength. Or if you've got a block or something that you've been using, you can try just taking a grip on this as well. Sometimes having a different hand position is really helpful. Wherever we are, we're going to ground into our hands and feet. Feel that really strong connection, just like we did in our Tadasana pose. And then press into your feet and hands. Lift your hips. Reverse tabletop. Pressing the hips and the belly up towards the sky. Root down into all 10 knuckles of your hands. Weight even on your feet. Good. We can drop the head back if that feels good. On your exhale, either bring the hips down to touch or swing them back in between your hands if you want a little bit more work. This is a little core work. We might pull the toes off the mat. Inhale, reverse tabletop. Lift the hips. Exhale, bring it down. One more. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, bring it down. If hips are hovering, set them down to the mat. Beautiful. All right. Starting to transition into some more seated stretches. We'll take the legs out long in front of us and check to see if your tailbone wants to roll under like this. If it does, try putting a little bend in the knees, or we can sit on top of a blanket, a pillow if you've got something handy, or if you're using something compatible with this, like a book or a block, maybe not your canned goods if you're using canned goods. We might sit up on a prop here just to help us get this nice long spine. Yeah, getting some space there in the spine is a lot more important than trying to force the knees straight. You won't reach enlightenment if your legs straighten, I promise. So we're going to start wherever we are, giving a little lift of the belly up and in. Yeah, and then check in with the feet. Let's firm the tops of the thighs. Point the toes straight up towards the sky. Notice if you have a tendency to press more through one side of the foot or the other. And see if you can make the feet even on both the big toe and the pinky toe sides of the feet. Good. We might support with the hands down here. Dandasana, staff pose. And then inhale, bend your right knee, bring your right heel in close. We might stay here. We might step the right foot over the left leg. Be careful that if we're stepping over, the inner edge of this right foot is still sealed down to the mat. If it starts to peel up, then just take it back to the right side of the body. Good. We can stay here. We might wrap the bottom leg all the way around. That's a little bit more intense. Try it. If it's great, then stick with it. If not, you can always make a different choice. Wherever you are, grab the knee. Use that traction to stretch the spine nice and long. As you inhale, imagine space in between all of your vertebrae. Good. And then as you exhale, use that strength of your exhale pulling in to twist you towards the right. And we'll bring the right hand down behind us to support. Taking a little twist, we might just keep the left hand on the right knee. We might wrap left elbow around. Try to open the chest, moving the collarbones away from each other here. Keep the bottom leg really active, especially if it's straight. And our gaze might just turn over the back shoulder. Take a few deep breaths all the way down into your low belly. Exhale, twist forward, back to center. Step your right foot back to the right if it crossed, and then stretch it out long. Good. Second side, left foot comes in. Same things here. Maybe we cross it over, maybe we don't. Check back in with our nice tall spine. We can use some traction on the bent knee to stretch ourselves a little bit longer. And then left hand comes down behind. Take a little twist towards the left. Again, maybe just a hand here on the knee. Maybe we take a little wrap. Your gaze can stay right over your heart. It might feel good to take it all the way over that back shoulder. And keep your back hand pressing down pretty strong to support you here. Every time you inhale, imagine space in between your vertebrae. And then every time you exhale, imagine yourself getting taller. Inhale, space. Exhale, length. Take one more breath here. Exhale, come all the way back to center. Step your left foot over, stretch it out long, and then make your way onto your belly. Whatever that looks like for you, come all the way down onto the belly. We can stack the hands and rest the forehead down here. Or if it's more comfortable, we can press down into the forearms and lift up a little bit. This is a little bit of a back bend, so make sure it's okay on your low back. And then from here, we're going to imagine our hips really heavy down into the mat. And then bend your right knee, pull your right heel in towards your right glute. See if the hips can stay heavy. Reach the knee towards the bottom of your mat, away from your hip. Keep squeezing your foot towards your butt. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we start to reach back with the right hand, and maybe we can reach that right foot. Just give a little push with the right hand and the right foot right back into the hand. So we've got action on both sides of the equation here. Just a nice little quad stretch. If the hand doesn't quite reach, you can always grab a towel or a sweatshirt and loop it around your foot. On your next exhale, slowly, don't slingshot, slowly lower the right leg all the way back down. And then give the hips a little wiggle from side to side. See how that feels. And then we'll switch sides. So the left knee will bend, the left heel pulls in towards the left glute. Really hug that in and stretch your left knee closer to the end of your mat, away from your head. Good. Maybe stay here. Maybe reach back with left hand. Make that connection. If we have a connection there, kick your foot into your hand just as much as your hand is pulling into your foot. And we might do this in little pulses where for a second the hand pulls more and then the next second the foot pushes more. Good. Slow and controlled. Let go of the foot if you have it. Let the leg go out long. One more little shake of the hips from side to side. And then take your right arm out to the side with the elbow bent, like a little cactus arm. And bring your knee, your right knee, towards your right elbow. Any amount. That might mean it just comes out to the side a little bit. It might start to inch up towards the right elbow, so it's like a little half frog pose. You've got one little froggy leg, one little froggy arm. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good, and then exhale. Come back to center, bring the right leg and the right arm back. And we'll switch over to the other side. Left arm goes out wide like a goalpost. And then left knee starts to move upwards towards the left elbow. Keep weighting down through the left shoulder and left hip point. Exhale, come back to center. Rest the forehead on the hands. Maybe another wiggle if you want it. And then just gently roll yourself over onto your back for Shavasana. Shavasana is our final resting pose, a really important component to help the body integrate and kind of remember, understand, process all of the things that we've done today during our practice. And that might look like the legs stretched out long with the arms by the sides. We might keep the knees bent. We can walk the feet a little bit wide and let the knees fall in. Just find a place that you can rest. And letting go of any thoughts that are still lingering. Noticing if, now that the body is still, the mind has started to take over. See if you can maintain that gentle focus, presence, observation. And just noticing the sensations of the body. Noticing the flow of the breath. Abstaining from any judgments or stories. Just being here on your mat. So that as you breathe in, you know that you are breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know that you are breathing out. I invite you to stay and rest in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. You can pause this video right now and just rest into some silence. If you're sensing that your resting time has been completed, then from wherever you are, whatever position you ended up in, and just gently bring yourself onto one side. And try to keep the body really nice and soft. Just use one hand to gently press yourself up to a seat. And find any seat that's comfortable for you. And just a couple more moments for stillness and softness and quiet. We can rest the hands on the thighs, or they might come together at the heart. Giving a little lift of the heart and a little tuck of the chin. Bringing our head and our heart closer together. And just take a moment for gratitude here. Thank yourself for doing your practice today, whatever that looked like. Feeling grateful for the body that you have that got you through your practice today and gets you through all of your days. Thankful for the breath that flows inside of you and the heartbeat that beats. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this practice was just what you needed today, wherever you are, however you are, just as you are.